It does help when the system catches up with what I was doing. Hey, everybody. It is Tuesday. It's from the barracks. So, of course, we're going to talk about some airsoft nonsense today. I am Joker for Players Wanted. With me is the man, the myth, the legend of the shortest statute but biggest heart, Greg Paparisi from Dead End Outfitters. And also, we have a
Good
special
evening.
guest tonight, Nigel. Is it Dials 46?
That's
Right.
it.
Okay, I can't. I'm a product of the Broward County school system. I usually can't pronounce shit. From Elite Force, thank you for joining us today. We're going to talk about some stuff with Elite Force and all that. We're also going to talk about some stuff that's going on. So jumping right into it, we have a new sponsor announcement. This is always a great thing that we can go up and do. So it was not in the opening crawl, but let's go ahead and announce our newest sponsor, ATE Airsoft. They're officially a sponsor of Players Wanted. And here's their new intro. So we're not going to play through all of our sponsors again, because that'll just be redundant. AT is now an official sponsor of Players Wanted Airsoft, and by proxy also Battle Bus Adventures. If you don't know who AT Airsoft is, it's Apocalyptic Tactical Events. Airsoft that is run by Bulldog and Wiener, formerly of Doomsday Airsoft. They're going to be bringing a bunch of events in 2022 to everybody, down here in the southern reaches of when the southern reaches like Florida, Georgia, and all that. So keep an eye on their productions. They're going to be coming out with some pretty cool stuff. So first and foremost, we always like to start off the streams by talking about our upcoming events that we're doing. We are less than 2 weeks away from Operation Big House, the Syndicate, in Crescent, Pennsylvania, at a haunted prison. Have you heard about this yet, Niles?
I have.
You have heard about it. Then I must be doing something right.
Greg. I think Greg was telling me about it last time we talked.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's doing something right for
I'm
me.
doing something right. Yeah, I help promote stuff. I do some of my job. It's all right.
So, which name do you want us to use? Do you want us to use Nigel, or do you want us to use Dials?
Nigel's fine.
Nigel? Okay, cool. Because it's like as soon as I read down on the thing, I was like,
Well, and my last name's Iles, so Niles is like I go by Niles as well, So,
So we're going to be talking a little bit about Operation Big House later on in the stream, but there's only, like I said, I think it's like 10 days left for that event. Come check it out. Green versus Tan. There'll be a whole bunch of exciting stuff there, plus JTF missions. We're going to be
looking forward to the event, not looking forward to the drive, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, I know your feeling, man. 17 hours ish in a car. That's always something that is fast. We're also going to be going to, like, a couple of us are going to go to Revelations 11, so that's coming up in December. We're also going to be going to Wasteland, which is going to be at Wayne's World which is another post-apocalyptic type game, Wayne's World of Paintball in Ocala, Florida. And then, of course, Papa, do you want to do your brief?
February 26th in Northwest South 3 down at Force Center. And more coming out about that every week, every month. We're bringing out more and more about it. But as you mentioned, AT is a sponsor of the show. Actually, AT is also one of the newest sponsors of, and actually Elite Force is also a sponsor now. They're throwing their hat in the ring for the event. So much appreciation there.
Golf clap. And that's about as far as we're going to go into 2022. We have a whole lot of stuff going on, except for that we will mention again Pew Pew at Sea, because the deadline to sign up for that one for the rates it's currently at now is November 4th. That is an airsoft, a cruise for airsofters. Yes, we're not playing airsoft on the cruise. The Norwegian frowns upon that, but we are still trying to set up the logistics and all that to get airsoft guns over to Bahamas, Bahama Paintball. And actually, Nigel, that's something that maybe we could talk about with you, because I know Bahama Paintball was trying to get airsoft stuff in because they have a lot of interest in it. They just been having some problems getting the stuff.
I'm sure, especially down around those areas. I'm sure it's a logistical nightmare in the first place, getting stuff to the Bahamas. I had a friend that went out there years ago, and there is a pretty good airsoft scene out there, so that's cool to hear about them still going strong. But yeah, have them reach out. I'll give them. I'll get you the contact details, and we'll see what we can do.
Excellent, because that's one of the cool things that we want to do is we want to use this cruise. Um, we are going to be playing at Miami Airsoft the day before the cruise, Thursday, April 7th, and then when we get up there, we want to be able to play in the Bahamas, so that way we can say we're all international airsofters.
That's
That's how
right.
that works, right?
That's right.
So Pew Pew at Sea, that's coming up. That event also your cost of the cruise includes the full drink package, so you can drink as much as you want, and I think it's $664 per person for an interior cabin.
You
For
can, and
three
if you're
nights
like
at
some
sea.
of us, you can drink more than you want.
Exactly. So, well, with that being said, going past all that, Nigel, thank you very much for coming on tonight and talking with us a little bit. So, tell us a little bit about Elite Force and all the stuff that you guys do and what's new in the world of Elite Force.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, guys. Elite Force. Here we go with the holidays approaching fast. Greg knows what I'm talking about. We're getting everything
yeah.
rolling here. So it's that busy time of the year. On top of just scrambling to get these restocks in, so we can get stuff on the shelves for the retailers. Busy. You know, a lot of our fan favorites out there, the Avalon series, of course, our licensed Glock items and things like that. We're just scrambling to make sure that there's enough of it to go around. So we're pulling our hair out and just kind of bracing for the holiday. Throughout all this, we've had some projects on the back burner that we've kind of played close to our chest. We haven't really talked about it because we didn't know when it was going to actually get here with all the manufacturing delays and shipping delays. But this week or last Friday, actually, we announced that we just got our shipment. We got our stock of our limited edition licensed MP5, which is kind of cool. It's got the CNC aluminum rail on it. Solid stock. It's optics ready. Kind of a cool full metal MP5, and I think it's limited to like 600 pieces. And it's one of those things that we almost forgot about. So it hit, and we're like, oh yeah, by the way, we have this. So those are selling like hotcakes. I mean, they're pretty much already gone. So check out our social media, Elite Force Airsoft, if you need to get more details on that. But I'm pretty excited for that product. I know there's a lot of hype out there for it. So
And it has a red trigger. Don't forget.
and it's got the red trigger, a little bit of flair to it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. As silly as that sounds, right? Because this is going to go into like one of the main topics that we're going to have tonight. Which, if you guys are coming in here to listen about the HPA ban, guys, we'll talk about that in a little bit. And none of us are going to ban HPA. We want to talk about the discussions that come up about HPA. It's so funny how many people like, oh, I got to get that gun. Why? Look at the trigger, man. It's got to be a good trigger.
It's got a
Why?
flat
'Cause
trigger.
it's
It's a
painted
red bladed trigger. Come on, man.
It's flair, man. Yeah, well, it just looks so good being an HK with their, predominant colors being black and red. It's like, yeah. Red trigger. That sounds cool. So it looks good.
I mean, and as I talk trash, I think I got like 3 guns with red triggers on it.
Right.
But that's pretty awesome. I know that a lot of people have been looking forward to that in MP5. And
Anything else new coming out?
What's that?
Anything else new coming out from?
Yeah. So right behind this, we should have, by popular demand, and I think we've talked about this in depth, Greg, but we've got the full metal MP5 SD, I believe SD6 coming out, which we've had the competition polymer construction one before, and everyone says they want the full metal body one. So that's finally coming. So we're hoping to have that in time for Christmas too. That might hit a little bit later this month. So we'll try to get it under the tree for Christmas Day. We'll see what we can do.
And that has the Avalon gearbox in it, right?
So so this is not a VFC OEM.
Is this the SEMA one then?
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna have their latest and greatest. We have the special ability to kind of take feedback from our guys and see what they really like about some things from some manufacturers and what they don't like. And so we're able to kind of cherry pick and put what we think is the best optimal gearbox together. So it does have their new gearbox with the quick change spring. I believe it's got the ball bearing piston guide, and then it's got the high torque motor with it. So it should be a step above your average out of the box kind of competition grade.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I got to get a couple of those.
Yeah.
So I did want to talk about that. One thing that you mentioned, like briefly, like you almost glossed over a little bit about the shipping delays and all that when it comes to airsoft. So if you don't know much about me, I actually have a board game company that's barely scraping by. And of course, COVID hit really hard. So manufacturing delays have just been insane. how difficult are you guys finding it right now with getting stuff? Well, let me the first part of the question: how much stuff have you already had manufactured that's sitting at ports waiting to leave the home port just to get onto the water?
Yeah. So usually we'll get notifications. We have guys overseas. They'll do the final inspections leaving from the manufacturers, from our vendors that work with us over there. And they'll do the final inspections usually about a month on the water. So as soon as they say thumbs up, your stuff's good, it's coming to you. It's about a month out. Anymore, it's been such a crapshoot. I would love to say 2 months, but it's even surpassed that in some cases. So yeah, we've had a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff on the water coming still that we expected last month, and it just depending on, since we work with so many different people, depending on where they're at in, Taiwan or mainland China or South Korea, work with a lot of different guys, depending on how hard it is and how hard their ports have been affected by COVID, working shortages and all that stuff. So it's been a beautiful nightmare.
I would not say anything about this has been beautiful.
Well,
I mean, and a lot of people just don't understand all the logistics that go through it. And then when you're trying to have the conversations with people, they're like, oh, well, why don't they just have it go to another port? Well, a lot of times what people don't understand is that ship is the goods are destined to one particular port. By customs, and you cannot just say, oh, well, instead of going to LA, we're just going to go through the Panama Canal and go to Florida and drop off.
Right.
So
yeah, tons of logistics again behind all of it, with everyone scrambling. It seems like especially nowadays we're kind of very pampered when it comes to our consumer perception, Amazon, for example. When I get Amazon Prime, I want it the next day, right? And I'll pay the extra dollar for that product if I can get it the next day. Well, Amazon's got hubs all around the US, right? Like, we're just trying to get it into the country, and that's the big hurdle that we're up against. So you kind of have that consumer disconnection where we've been so pampered,
Oh yeah.
As soon as I get my tracking number, I'm sitting by my mailbox, right? And it's like, well, hold on, we got to get the stuff first. There's nothing to sell just yet. So a lot of confusion out there.
Here's a great idea. Let your friends convince you to open up a retail business that relies on shipping to come in amidst the pandemic. That's a great idea. Those are not good friends. You should get rid of those friends. You should actually not join their streams, not talk to them at all, and make sure that you never speak to them again.
So
Greg is now gone.
Okay. See you later, Greg. I say, the reason I said beautiful nightmare, though, and I think Greg can attest to this a little bit too, is that we're having a great year again, you know what I mean, as a company. So, and I know a lot of other people are as well. There's been a big boom as far as our industry goes. There's been such buying power and demand out there for airsoft products and airsoft goods. So, I say these are good problems. We always say these are good problems. So
this, besides the shipping issues, airsoft is almost a COVID-proof industry, where I don't know of any shops that have shut down, and I don't know of any fields that have shut down that were related to COVID. I know there's a particular field that Greg and I held dear in our hearts, but that had nothing to do with COVID, why that got shut down.
No, that was different. But no, if you know, and if you get ahead of the curve as best you can, we literally came into it, not at the best, the most opportune time, but the community's taking care of us, and we did what we could to take care of them. We just keep trying to get up. I mean, staying ahead of it is difficult, though. Right now the walls are empty, and literally we just got a shipment in today. We got another one following within the next couple of days. They kind of step on each other as they come through. Yeah, it's constantly rotating on the wall. It's nerve-wracking, but it takes care of it.
Yeah, it seems like the demand is there. The dollars are there to support businesses and back it up. We just got to get the product. So,
well, the other thing that's kind of interesting is, I think the reason why a lot more innovation came out is that when everybody had, especially for an R&D standpoint, when people are not going to other things, you have more time to focus on new technologies and everything else. And then on top of that, the players now have an opportunity. Like, we had 4 months of sitting at home doing nothing except surfing the internet.
Yes.
So, but have you guys seen the quadrupling or even 5 or 6 times the cost for a container, like other industries have seen.
Yeah, it's bad. So on top of that, getting our international stuff, doubling for sure. As far as I've talked with our guys, the other big hurdle is now within the U.S. these freight carriers. So when you go, truckload type stuff, big 18-wheeler semi loads, they're putting in their own requirements and restrictions as far as how many pallets you can put on it. Right? Like, so if you got an order that's 5 or 6 pallets, someone has a big order. Well, now you have to scramble to find a truck that'll take that 5 or 6 pallets, or else you're gonna have to figure out another way to do it. So, yeah, a lot of hurdles, man. The deal is that somebody is going to end up paying for the shipping, right? And that's the bigger discussion. I think everyone will absorb as much as they can, from the importers to the distributors to the retailer. But I think at the end of the day,
You saw where my next question was going down the line, right? the next comment on that. So we actually have a question for you, Nigel. Stupid question: are you an actual employee of Elite Force?
I am. Yeah, I joke around a lot on my social media. I say I'm a sponsored player. I'm the number 1 sponsored player. Sometimes I help them sell stuff. They give me a paycheck. So I mean, yeah, but no, I actually work for Humarex USA Elite Force.
Nigel has been
Awesome.
has been my rep since the start and has been fantastic. Even the hour-long conversations where I end up not buying anything from him, those are fantastic too. So that has definitely happened before. Nothing in stock for me to buy or no money to buy, but good conversation nonetheless.
And again, thank you for coming on tonight so we could talk about all
Absolutely.
this stuff. So going into that next portion, how much have you guys seen? Have you guys seen a lot of backlash so far? Because prices are going to have to increase because shipping prices increased.
Yeah.
So have you been getting a lot of negative feedback from customers and all that of, hey, why'd this bottle of BBs all of a sudden jump up, $5?
Right. So it's like a real big butterfly effect. I mean, we talk in depth about if you could correctly gauge this trend, you'll be the next billionaire, but the chaos factor of it all is kind of like a butterfly effect. So this perfect storm of, production shutting down, when I'm talking about manufacturing, I'm talking about shipping ports, people that are actually working on the container ships. That's the tip that we see, right, of the iceberg. But you go beneath that, now you're seeing factories that are trying to play catch up because they were shut down for 2 or 3 months per their country's restrictions. Now you're also seeing raw material shortages or the intentional shorting of raw materials to some countries from other countries. That's for political reasons, which is being openly discussed. This is something we know about. So it's, the vendors trying to play catch up, trying to get their hands on the raw material. And now their prices are going up because of that, right? So now, the distributors, the importers are getting hit with increased prices, and then on top of shipping. So it's more than just shipping. It's a layer thing for sure.
It's a great big snowball effect, and
Yes.
like a lot of people don't realize too, like, oh, why are all these shipping delays? Well, you have major ports that have empty containers that haven't gone back overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't get those back, they have to manufacture new ones, which takes away from the raw materials or puts a bigger demand on the raw materials to build them up. And then it goes back again to what I was saying. It's like you just can't take a boat that's destined for California and route it to Florida because it's not full of airsoft stuff. It's filled up with a ton of other goods,
Right.
some of which, if they're agricultural, they might be regulated to going into particular states. Like Florida rejects a lot of agricultural stuff coming from overseas,
I'm sure.
just like California does. So, it's not that because there's always grumbling, oh, they just want to make money off the pandemic. No, they want to stay in business, and their costs have increased.
Yeah. And the other thing too is, so with Humarex USA, we are fortunate enough to have the buying power where we can fill up a container ourselves, but it's not all airsoft. So we share with air guns, with our, Axion optical line. We have our flashlight line, Walther firearms. So we're constantly sharing with different products in different categories to get these containers filled. So we get I don't know, 4 or 5 deliveries every week, and we just kind of see what's coming off the truck and cross our fingers and hope that we can fill these back orders.
So,
That's
so has
basically
it been one of those things of open up? What do we have here? Ooh.
Well, we gauge it. We try to gauge it enough to where we have an idea of what's coming in, and we have a whole department that obviously that's what they do. But we'll see on the dry erase board in the warehouse. They'll say one truck at 9 a.m., one truck at 10 a.m., and we're like, maybe this is it. You know what I mean? Maybe this is the M4s we're waiting for. And then we're like coyotes, like piranhas. We just sit there and watch them offload it. And we're like, okay, let's go call our guys.
Wait, hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. That's mine.
Yeah, exactly.
So the funny thing about that is we do it from the retailer side. We do the same. I'll sit back and I'll wait, and I'll see the emails come in. I'll get whether it's Nigel send me something or get Charlie from G&G or UK Arms or one of those. Just in. I'm like, what's in? What just came in? And I start going through it. I'm like, no, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Oh, we just picked up. We just got 2 micro guns into the Classic Army micro guns in the shop.
Nice.
Because they just got re-released. I'm like, need them, get them. I have no purpose for these. Nobody's ever gonna buy these guns, but you couldn't.
Somebody
get
will.
Forever.
Hey, Papa.
See, there you go.
I know guys with gun trucks that might need a little something on the top. Just saying. But I mean that's exactly what happens on our end from all the way down the bottom of the rung is you sit and you wait for all right, now they've got it in, now I can buy it. So for sure.
So going back to talking about like that stuff that's coming in, like I keep referencing my other industry, board games, because it's kind of interesting when you're dealing it from a retailer side, trying to work with distributors. There's always allocations that are there to begin with, especially if you do trading card games like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and all that. That stuff's already allocated, but they also have some other games. Like there's one that was Wingspan, where even stores that have multiple chains are only allowed to get 5 copies for all their stores. That's the allocation, 5 period. And I didn't think there was really that much allocation going on before the pandemic because stuff was flowing so serious. Are you guys seeing more allocations now going on for stores?
Yeah, no, for sure. So we try to encourage everybody to give us a realistic order, to reserve these back orders as they come in. Well, so the other thing is too,
I got it.
is people like, so say you order 20, but I can only give you 10 because we're trying to spread out the love with everybody, right? So then the next back order you put in 40, but you really just want 20. It's like, okay. So the scary part about that is who's going to get left holding the bag with all the inventory. You know what I mean? It's a game of hot potato, right? And no, so we are only able to get a portion, especially on our popular items of what the demand actually is. I mean, we have one particular handgun that we're behind several thousand units of, and we get 1,000 in, right? And it's like, okay, so here we go, right? And we try to do a percentage based on how much we get in, but that's where a lot of my works come from the last almost 2 years now. It's just like the logistics of we break it down, we see who gets what, right? We argue for our guys, like, come on, we shorted them on this last one, let me try to get this, throw them a couple extra pieces on this one. So that's what a lot of my workload has been the last 2 years, just caveman, just data entry, you know what I mean? Numbers. So.
I don't even leave my house. Here we go.
Right. Well, there was a point where I didn't. Yeah.
So it really is kind of we hope that it helps educate people when they're going through and they're getting pissed off and frustrated at the shops and at the things. It's really nobody's fault. There's not much that we can do until that backlog. It's like we were almost getting back on track with shipping getting back up, and next thing you know, a big ass ship gets stuck in the Suez Canal.
I heard it was a bunch of Webster barbecue grills. I heard there was like multiple containers of Webster barbecue grills on there. So
it's just interesting how this stuff goes down the line. So
I need to thank everybody in the comment section, by the way. I'm over here blushing a little bit. You can't see it because the lighting is terrible in here right now. But between Chris and Casper, they're praising me for my build stuff, and I'm glad Chris enjoys his gun. And Garcia, yes, the final piece came in and it's being assembled. I got a bunch of guns being built or have been built for these guys, so I wanted to thank everybody. And Jay, if you need another hater, yes, as a matter of fact, we have them in stock. Dead & Outfitters has the and we have the white ones in stock. Just saying. Just
I was
saying.
just. I think that question was more along the lines of the very popular gun that is thousands behind.
No.
They're asking if it was the hater.
No, that's going to be one of our licensed, our more popular licensed brands. But no, yeah, haters. I know Greg's sitting on some, so check that out for sure. But yeah, we should have some. I'm hoping we should have some more in before the end of the year. I believe so. But a lot of stuff coming. Personally, I know everyone else is scrambling, and it's kind of bottlenecked. So hopefully, there's going to be a lot coming. I know there is for us. So I suspect it's like that for everyone else too.
Yeah, because there's some stuff that like I've been waiting for from not to say anything bad about Elite Force, but like one of the main guns that I run is G&Gs. I have a lot of G&G guns. I
Sure.
love the PCC 9. So like a lot of people come to me and it's like when they ask me what type of gun to get, it's like I only tell them about the guns that I've held that I give the recommendations on. I always tell everybody, of course, go up there, feel that gun, feel the weight of it, make sure it fits you, all that fun stuff that goes down to it. But I was asking Papa the other day, how many SRSs do you have in? Because there's 3 guys over here at Miami that want them. And he's like, I don't know. I got like this many, like out there somewhere. They're in flight. Don't know where they are.
Yeah,
They're allocated
right now. Yeah, I'm waiting. But half my store is G&G and Lancer Tactical. The other half is Elite Force VFC Humorex. I've got almost, the majority of my pistols are all from Humorex. I've got
a lot of them. Yeah,
full line of Glocks from the 17 to the 45, every number in between. We actually either have them in stock or have them coming in stock right now. 17, 18C, 19, 19X, 34, and 45.
That video that Brax posted with the Glocks, were those the?
He's such an idiot.
Were those the Elite Force Glocks? I think they were.
Those
right?
are the 18Cs. Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on a second. I gotta pull
Are you
this
gonna
up.
show it to Nigel?
Yeah, I'm gonna show it to Nigel.
I don't think so. Yeah, that's.
He's so stupid.
It was rather funny.
$50.
I
Sorry,
saw
I answered somebody in the comments.
Oh yeah.
He paid us to what?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I gotta let me do my thing, man. Let me get some giveaways. Shut up, y'all. Giving him ideas that we have to pay him to be on here. DEO ridiculousness. Yeah. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Hold on 1 second. Stop. Pause. There we go.
KWA is hard to carry right now, Jay, to be honest with you, because they're either so expensive and they sit until someone wants that particular gun. The KWA is very niche. What?
All right. Sorry. Everything froze on my end. I don't know what the hell just happened.
I'm over here answering a question that Jay asked about, or he mentioned. He said nobody carries KWA. KWA tends to be very niche. I don't get a lot of requests for them, and some of their stuff that you want is actually pretty expensive. So right now they're not a big seller. They're not going to sit on the wall. All right, here you go.
Hey, did we get any of those Block 18Cs in? So that's a yes then. Hey, did we get any of those
That's
Block
great.
18Cs in?
That's
Let me see that again. Yeah. Hey, send me that one in a message. I gotta share that one with Elite Force. That's great.
Oh, I'll send it over in a minute.
Okay.
It's on TikTok. It's great. I mean,
Yeah.
we like doing that. So I want to answer one quick question somebody asked real quick. Joker, Decoy Airsoft. Joker, do you play at Miami Airsoft? Yes, I usually play Mondays and Wednesdays there. I was not there Monday. I will be there tomorrow. Sorry.
I tease Braxton about all the video. I don't ever want him to stop doing the videos though, because I don't do them, and they're great to have. They're a lot of fun. He does a great job at them. They're absolutely ridiculous. I'm embarrassed and ashamed every time I see it, but I never want him to stop.
There's so much fun that happens with TikTok. Like that's where my channel's like.
He put me in a refrigerator though, in one video. It was a birthday video for one of our guys, and I was a refrigerator gnome who handed him out beers. It's like this is what he does.
Okay.
If it fits, you sits. I mean, that's the way it works.
There you go.
I still love the picture where he brought in the shipment and all the shipment goes up. The only thing is like this and Greg's head, and he was standing, but you only see his eyes and his head up top, and it said Papa. So it's we love TikTok. Oh wait, it's actually wait, hold on.
Yes, it is on TikTok.
I found it.
Yes, that's it there.
Yes, yes, I found it. So Nigel,
Yes.
it's time to pick on Papa. It's our
Mhm.
Okay.
it's our segment time right now.
Okay, it's that time.
It's that time.
Oh, that's great, man.
I will have you know I was squatting down slightly.
Oh,
Okay.
that's bullshit. I
Slightly.
can call it
I
right
said
now.
slightly. My legs
Yeah.
were spread a little. They wasn't really bending down per se. The legs were spread a little bit.
That's great, man.
So Nigel, how long you've been in airsoft for like 35 years, something like that? How long you been playing
It's
airsoft?
the beginning of time. I've been
Tell us how the dinosaurs were.
playing airsoft for like 20 plus years at some form or
Jeez.
capacity, and I had a field, an indoor field. Well, I was active with the community in Kansas City, and then I had the first indoor field in Kansas City. And then I had a pro shop for a while, and then the opportunity arose at Elite Force, and I did a lot of work with them. I was really familiar with the category, and so it just kind of made sense at the time. And that was 5 years ago now. I just celebrated my 5 year at work at Humorex. So thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I would drink to
You were
you, but
fairly green when I got with you then, huh? I've been with you almost
I
4
think
years now.
so. Yeah, man. Yeah, I guess so. It's all been a blur, especially the last 2 years. But
Right?
yeah. I think I think it was around maybe my first year when we got together. So yeah.
Yeah.
and you're getting a whole bunch of congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So before we start moving on to the topic that I think a lot of people are waiting for,
Yeah,
because
people are
they're
chomping at
already.
the bit, man. We gotta
Yeah.
hurry up. We gotta get to it before they light us on fire.
I know, right? We go to the next event. What the hell was that for? It took too long to talk about HPA. Ow!
Yep.
Is there anything exciting or new that you want to talk about, Nigel? Of anything, whether it's Elite Force stuff or anything else that's coming out that you're really looking forward to?
Not much, man. Staying busy, trying to survive through the holiday season, and then after that, preparing for the show. Right, that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother podcast. The show of the shot, right? That'll be in January. So, but no, personally, I'm gonna make it out to Milsom West's event at the Guardian Center in December with some of my buddies. So I'm looking forward to that. I know a lot of guys that are heading out to Fort Hood for reindeer games here in a couple weeks. So yeah, that's basically what's on my radar right now. I'm just trying to keep the desk cleared at work.
That's the same thing for us down here. Hopefully one of these days we can get you to come up to that.
I'm gonna get down there. Yeah, I got a lot of friends in Florida, so it's gonna happen
not just-
eventually. Me and Greg have been talking about it forever. It's going to happen.
Hey, I heard there's this cruise that's going to happen in April.
Listen, February 26th. There is a game, and you would be considered part of the Northern team. I'm just saying, if you wanted to come down and play,
It's gonna happen eventually. But I'd like to. What's the weather down there in February?
Like in the
Florida.
60s, 50s, and 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, we could almost still be in our pools at that point in time.
Yeah, you might
Okay.
you might have to wear a breezy hoodie. It's yeah, no shorts.
Oh, here's a question for you, Nigel. Does Elite Force repair the haters?
So at that price point, kind of that lower price point on those types of guns, the CO2 guns, we do keep a lot of replacement parts or scrap parts. So if for any reason, if it's a pop seal or something like that, or your CO2 screw or something like that, if it's a CO2 leak issue, usually the best course of action is to get with whoever you bought it from, the retailer you got it at, and have them contact us outright, or you can call our service department and they can help you source those parts. It does have a 60-day warranty on it. So if it happened in the first 2 months, we got you covered. Outside of that, yeah, not so much on repair, just because of the price point. There's not a lot. We'd pay for shipping back and forth, and then the time it'd take for one of our repairmen, our service technicians to repair it. It sprays out of the hammer. Sounds like maybe a pop valve still or something going on up there. Get with who you got it from and tell them to give us a shout, whoever their sales rep is, and we'll see if we can't get that covered for you, man.
Yeah, so the comments are once again flying. But besides that event in February, there's another haunted prison up in PA that's going to have some games starting up at the end of April and all that. So I think that's the last weekend of April is when they're going to have the Big House is going to have another event
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That place is awesome. That AO is really nice, and it looks like they're going to be doing several events per year there. So, all right, let's go into and talk about the so spicy comments that I didn't realize how much hate it was like. The people are legitimately getting pissed off, thinking that
Yeah.
I have a view on this, a negative view on it. But should HPA high pressured air setups be banned at fields?
Yes. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking.
You had to pick one side or the other.
Whoa.
You know what?
And you're,
Bye.
yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
I'm really not scared of the conversation because
No.
my local field, Miami Airsoft, actually banned HPA. They said we don't want HPA inside here, and but it's also a CQB field. It's an indoor field, 20,000 square feet with 0 MED and shooting at 400 FPS. I can tell you before HPA was banned and after, the amounts of overshooting dropped dramatically, and there was a lot less issues of people, screwing with their regulators and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I know comments are going to explode as soon as I make this next comment, but it's easier to increase the FPS on an HPA setup than it is to do somebody with a quick change spring system or something like that on the
Absolutely. Yeah.
fly.
Well, you're talking about two different kinds of energy too. I mean, even if I were to spin around and go swap the spring on an AEG, that doesn't necessarily. I mean, now I'm putting more. There's a lot more power usage, heating up the battery, heating up the motor, things like that. Because it's not just a matter on an AEG of swapping a spring, whereas HPA, it's you're feeding more pressure. Boom, that's it. You're done. You run the chance of running down your battery, burning your motor, things like that. If you're just trying to throw that bigger spring. I think there's a whole guy, but
We just want to say hi to Steve Tom. Hopefully you're getting better, bud, from COVID and all that. And of course you're going to come out swinging.
yes, yeah, all right, yeah. Listen, go take a hit of oxygen. We'll call you back. That's not nice. I'm sorry, Steve. I love you, and I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're out of the hospital.
He's probably laughing right now, and you're killing
Yeah,
him.
I know, and I'm sending him back to the hospital with another laughing, coughing fit. All right. I'm gonna lay back for a second because Joker, where I. It's not a matter of where I stand. It's where it comes from. So I'll leave it open for a minute, for the comments to roll and everything. But I'll chime in a second.
See, you're killing him. He's literally saying, "I'm dying now."
Look what you're
Good job.
doing.
Well, I think there's two inherent problems with HPA systems, right? One problem is that ROF could be so much greater, and I don't know. For me, it hurts a hell of a lot more to get shot with HPA versus AEG. I'm on the receiving end. A lot of times, I am on the receiving end. So it's easier to manipulate and easier to open up. So, Nigel, what are your thoughts on some of this?
Sure. So as a previous indoor field owner, luckily 6.5, 7 years ago, when I was still running that field, HPA wasn't as prevalent as it is now. It's a lot more popular now. It's a lot more accessible, easy to get these parts and these setups and things. But if you take a step back and just kind of ask why you would get an HPA gun, right? Just harmless question. Well, why would you HPA your gun? Because it's better. Because it's better than an AEG, right? Right? There's advantages.
To me, that's I argue. I would, as a gun builder, I would say I've made AEGs and HPAs as good as each other. So I wouldn't necessarily say that one is better, but
fair. I think in terms of a stock gun,
parts and things like that. But yeah, less moving parts, and consistency for the most part, depending on the parts that you use and how the gun is built. Yeah, you can say that. But it's not a plug and play necessarily. I've seen people with HPA guns who just suck, don't know anything about their gun. They have no clue what their gun does or what any of this means, what dwell means or any of that. So I on one yeah, you dump all the money into a gun, your HPA gun will always be better than your AAG for sure. If you have no budget, if sky's the limit as far as money goes, HPA will always be better for sure.
Sure.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
So if we maybe you kind of agree as far as stock goes, I know you've decked out AGs and it's possible for sure to keep up. But so if we all kind of agree with that, then you got to ask yourself, well, that gun's better, right?
Well,
so now you have a upper echelon gun versus something that's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just playing
So-
devil's advocate here.
Oh no! By all means, I love these discussions. So, guys,
Yeah.
keep the comments flowing because we all have our different opinions and everything else like that. And the cool thing about it is, there's no reason why any of us should die on a hill at this point. Like, yeah, it's this or
Yeah.
nothing, man, because it's not. And this is airsoft.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's definitely some positives when it comes for me when it comes to HPA, like in cold weather, extremely cold weather. Air is probably going to perform a little bit better because the batteries get sapped harder in cold weather for AEGs
Sure.
compared to HPA. And then the HPA batteries usually tend to, I mean, you can put 10, 15, 20,000 shots through an HPA battery in cold weather, where you might only be able to get 1,000 shots out of out of a battery inside of cold weather. I know because I experienced it when we were up at Iron Horse 3 at the Guardian Center. My batteries were getting killed by the cold. So at the same token, like the offset to that is like you go to certain events and all that, maybe they run out of air. They don't have a compressor to fill up their tanks. And next thing you know, now your gun can't function. Me personally, I have 30 batteries, so I can just put batteries on chargers as I go through. And I could always be able to play, even with I have a low battery, like the cold sapping of batteries. All right, I'll just carry 10 batteries in my bag. What the hell do I care at this point? So that's why I say there's always balance things there. But even still, when you get past when you're talking about performance and everything else and rate of fires and all that, why the hell would you want to be shooting 80? Like one of the comments that was on one of the things I was trying to find it, somebody shooting 80 wants to talk about shooting 80 rounds a second with an HPA. Why?
Because it's awesome.
You shut the hell up.
No, look. All right. So here's the thing.
Hi, Nigel.
Somebody touched on it already in the comments, so I'll throw it out there. And Joe, you know how I feel. Nigel, you and I have even spoken briefly about this, but all things aside, the fact that it's easier to turn up an HPA, just round a corner, crank the PSI, and now you're going to shoot hotter. I think I actually put it on, and it's not about have better locking mechanisms. That's like saying having better security in your home so there's less break-ins. You need to control the attitude of the field. You have players that come on your field. You're a field owner. You run that field. It's your job to set the attitude, to set the tone for that entire field. You have to put it in people's minds that they don't want to cheat. It's your job as a coach to those players to teach them, be a better player, don't have a better gun. Right? I was brought up in this sport that the player makes the gun doesn't make the player. And if you bring that attitude into the field, yes, there will always be your ones and twos who are going to be like, I don't give a shit, I'm doing what I want, and they crank the gun up. Okay, fine. There's also the same guys that have LMGs that are going to blast you in the face at 20 feet. They're always going to be who they're going to be, and that's why you have admins. You don't have admins to police every single player. The field itself, the tone of the field should be set so that nobody wants to do that. You shouldn't have people wanting to go out and try to hurt somebody, wanting to break the rules. They should be out there wanting to help enforce the rules instead. It's a game of honor. It's an integrity sport, and that's exactly where it should be. I don't think anything should be banned. I'm not a fan of DSGs or SSGs. Do I think they should be banned? Nope. I think you should be able to do it. I don't think that there should be an RPS limit. I think there should be a minimum engagement distance for RPS though. See, if you're at 0 MED and you're shooting 1 joule, great, that's great. 0 MEG, 0 MED, 1 joule, 40 to 50 rounds per second. Because eventually those are going to hurt.
Absolutely.
They're flying. Eventually, it's gonna hurt.
That was from a good friend running an HPA saw from Copperhead. Thanks for that. Love you. Right there.
I thought he was literally flipping us off. I was like, oh,
Whoa.
Nigel
the
fits
worst.
right on this stream. It only took him 46 minutes to be like, oh, I know what I could get away with on this channel. All right. Lepers can't change their spots. Cheaters will always be cheaters.
I don't.
No matter what's in their plan. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either.
So, sorry, not to cut you off, Papa.
Go ahead.
This is actually a topic that I started using Facebook Reels, and a friend of mine started getting on my ass about the fact that I keep posting about cheater videos at Miami Airsoft. Well, I just so happened to throw up one of the cheater videos because it was the quickest one on my phone. I just did it so I could start getting my Reels views up. And I didn't even see which one, like really pay attention to what I was putting up. I just said Miami Airsoft, I think put hashtag cheater and Airsoft or whatever. Just did a couple quick hashtags, threw it up. And he was on me. I was like, well, the thing is, we've either stopped cheaters from showing up or we've actually got them to stop doing the stuff that they were doing wrong. Like one of the guys that we call it the hit caller. That dude can call hits like you'll not believe. You'll hear his hit call from one end of the field to the other, and that he's walking back to spawn, so you can anticipate when he's come running out. But at the same time, he also calls other people's hits. Finally, he did it to me to the point where my hand is even up. He's like, "You're hit, I hit you." I was like, I was so frustrated. I was like, I know. Stop calling my hits. And he goes, "What's your problem?" We went up there. I pointed to the rule there. I was like, "See right there? It says, do not call the player's hits." He has yet to utter somebody else's hit from that. And he goes, well, what do you say? I said, come on, man. That's my way of like doing it. It's like, it's not calling somebody out. It's just, come on, man. And he goes, okay. So he goes, his thing is now like, wow, really? You don't know what his wow really about unless you're the cheater, you know? But we've actually either stopped cheaters from showing up, which helps the field because we get rentals put on our side quite a bit. Like some of my teammates in there, Chris 7601, I don't know what the hell name is that, Chris. Make something better, Speedy Boy. And the Wands are on my team, and we typically play together. They'll give us the rentals and the new players because we can defend them against more experienced players and everything else, making the gameplay more fun, if that makes sense. So give me your weak, your poor, and I'll make them feel like they're having a great time in the sport because I won't let cheaters do the shit that they do.
I don't disagree with putting, a regular game day, putting locks on HPA. If that's what you require, then you're not raising your people right. That's how it is. That's what I see. It's different for an event. If you're having an event where it's a little bit more serious, people that are playing there, they got hundreds to thousands of dollars worth of gear. They're very serious, but then yes, you lock them down. Same as the difference between like a sandlot baseball game versus versus the major leagues.
Right.
On your bat, shit like that. Yeah, fine. That's you're going to set those rules and you're going to make sure people follow them so that everybody enjoys the day. But if it is every single field owner's job to raise their players right. The way I see it, when my guys go, the guys that come to frequent my field, and they go to other fields, if they play poorly at that field, I take offense to it. That bothers me. I feel responsible because I should have raised them better. Conversely, what I find is that my players go to other fields and they come back and they go, man, Papa, I want to play here more than anybody anywhere else because they enjoy my field better.
And he's not wrong. I mean, he really does spoil us for other fields. Like when I was going to Op 31 every other Saturday, and then I go to Miami Airsoft, I'd get pissed when people are calling us out. But this is not a talk about cheaters and everything else. It's a talk about HPA, which sort of leads into it. Which somebody just sent something over. This is the first time I've seen this before. Let me throw this over here. I've never actually seen this locking system before. The only thing I would say on it is I can only imagine if you forget to go back to the front to get your regulator unlocked. And you go home and that shit's stuck on there. I don't know how.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that there.
I mean, it looks like it's like cheap plastic to begin with, and something that would not stop like a dedicated person from really taking out. Whoops, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, look, when when someone wants to cheat, they're going to do whatever they got to do to cheat. Much to the point, I mean, I've seen people, say, "Oh, that I never got a tag. I went through Chrono, but I didn't get tagged. You didn't put one on my gun." Come on, man. Everybody but you didn't get a tag. Come on. So it the way I see it is this, though, man. A gun is a gun, regardless of how the energy is coming through it.
That's fair.
It's the player, and I think Nigel, I think you might have said it, and I know it definitely came through the comments. I don't see the rules should be the same. That's why we use joules now instead of FPS, because we can rate the energy better. We can if your FPS is one thing on an HPA gun, you can turn the dwell up, means that energy lasts longer. So
Mhm.
with joules, though, you can actually rate that. So you can have that. You can make sure that they're locked and turned down to balance it with AEGs. I don't see a reason to have those guns. It's almost why I took offense when we played up at Colony Wars. I have the Spectre is a wraith stock gun. It's difficult. Not everybody has the tape to lock down a wraith stock. You actually have to put the tape across the adjustment hole.
Even better, not a lot of people know that that gun is an HPA gun.
Right, because I mean, there's no line. It's a lineless HPA. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way. I just don't cheat. If for no other reason, in fact, I have a whole field. I get these people that I have to lead by example. So if I ever decide to do any kind of cheating and I get caught, that ruins my entire field. So I'm not going to do it. And then I'm thinking, don't worry, you don't have to lock me. In my head, I'm like, you don't have to lock me. I'm like, wait, I should abide by all other rules though. So I actually helped them figure out a way to lock my gun down, so I didn't change anything, even though
And
I was good anyway. But
Right.
and there is down here in Florida, there's actually a market for it. There's very few places actually, because the only, I think, fields that have it. Well, you have you don't have tank. Oh yeah, you do. You do, Papa. You take
but
care of HPA.
mhm.
Um, I Black Tiger Airsoft, I think, allows HPA, obviously, um, and so does Stampede, but Miami Airsoft doesn't. Palm Beach Airsoft won't. So the local indoor fields down south, nobody's really has it. So there's a black hole for HPA in that area, because they don't have the local stores don't have fill stations for the bottles and all that. So even if you did want to, you have to go to a paintball field just to buy air, unless you do what I do, which is scuba tanks at my own fill station, baby. um, and then battalion, I think we had a problem there, Papa, with people that were overshooting, and I think that's one of the reasons why so many people want it banned, is because of just the high rate of fire, and just people that seem to run HPA in indoor arenas, their particular look. Typically, speedy boy mask, all
Yeah,
black,
Right.
wearing a backpack, which that also baffles the shit out of me. If you're in an indoor arena and you're playing 8 to 10 minute games, what the hell do you need a backpack for?
yeah.
Can somebody please answer that? um, Wait a second. Did I read that right? Raptor has free HPA fill. At least that's one thing they're not charging for. I guess when they figure out they can, they will. Sorry, I guess that was a little bit jaded than I needed to be. um, so I guess the biggest problem I think people have is the rate of fire, and people seem to pre-spire and spam the triggers.
Again, it's one of those areas where a lot. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of full auto. My field is milsim ish. Milsim light, if you will, where I allow M4s to go full auto, but there's a 20-foot minimum engagement for full auto. We do allow that kind of stuff to happen, but I'm not. I try to teach, especially all my young kids coming up. While you're renting, sure, go ahead, have fun, flip the fun switch, play around, throw all them rounds down range, whatever you want to do. But eventually, accuracy by volume is not the way you want to play. You want to have a better accuracy. You
So
okay there?
no. My wife sent me something that is, wow. I'm surprised she sent it. I'll show you
All
later.
right then. Um, and but I think Braxton actually had this conversation with, I think it was either Sam or Sal, about from Third Coast, about the RPS limit for the minigun. for the microgun, and said, hey, the microgun was shooting. I think he had it up to like 45 RPS, and like, no, that's too fast. But
I
it should,
agree.
it
That's too
should be able to,
fast.
but it should be able to emulate its real life counterpart. Have a minimum engagement, but why is that too fast if you have a minimum engagement? And that's my argument for HPA. That's to kind of roll it all back, because microguns are HPA.
Mm-hmm.
Govern them accordingly. Allow them to do what they can do. Just govern them accordingly, and then also set the behavior. Control your behavior. Control your crowd. That's your job. We're not there just to collect money and throw you out on the field.
I would say that the reason why that you ban high rate of fires, that it should be capped out. I don't care if a minigun can do, what is it, 6,000 rounds in a minute. It's the fact of we're playing a game with BBs and we have an expectation of injury, right, or expectation of harm. If you get struck by a BB, it's going to sting for a second. But if you get shot 10 times before you can even put your hand up, before you can even react to the first shot, you're suddenly getting hit 10 times. That's how the fight starts. So that's why I think that, limiting ROFs is fine, because even still, that's a high rate of fire for people that are running from BBs and everything else. Especially with, like, I understand what you're saying about the minigun. We have enough problems with people getting pissed off at 30 rounds a second. You want to increase that to 49.
I'm not saying I want to. I'm
talking about practice mentality.
I shoot semi. Like even my SMGs are semi. So I don't. That's me. But I'm always going to play. I'm always going to play to the role of what should be allowed. Whether I play it or not is different, but what should be allowed. And I'm watching Nigel work out the answers. I want to hear what he has to say.
No. I mean, it sounds like, I think at the end of the day, I don't want to put a cap on this discussion because there's so many more moving parts to it. But it sounds like accountability at the field and the independent, the individual player level is what is the solution at the end of the day. But what about? Let's talk about this. What about ammo capacity restrictions and more closer to a low cap type thing? Would that eliminate a lot of the chaos? Maybe.
So I just want to address that one because somebody's actually commenting from the Netherlands. So welcome from the other side of the pond. So full auto is almost non-existent here in the Netherlands. Full auto is overrated. Should be regulated, in my humble opinion. So thanks from the Netherlands.
That definitely goes back to the mentality. What if you grow that mentality, people will be like, oh, why is that guy shooting full auto? We don't do that here, and eventually it grows that way. But having real caps, low caps and real caps, and having a real cap game, you start doing stuff like that, people will definitely begin to limit their rate of fire.
Absolutely.
Sure. You won't get trigger spamming, and you won't get any of that. I definitely agree with it.
Yeah, I pulled the trigger. My mag's empty. Yay.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same way you are, Papa. Unless it's one of the guns on either the battle bus or the battle bug, the technical guns. Even then, those rate of fires are capped at like 30. I go semi-final only. The only time I ever flip to binary is if first off, the field has to allow riflemen to be able to go full auto. But secondly, it's just to put down maybe a quick field of fire because you're about to go into something spicy. That's the only time that I ever flipped that switch, and it's very rare that I do it. Even out at major Milsim events, I think I've only done it like 5 or 6 times in the past 6 months. So I'm right there with you. So if you go down to ammo capacity, hey, if you want to have 60 rounds per second, by all means have a 60 round rag.
Right. And that, like Milsim West, when you do that, it's, you got to have a mid cap to a low cap type thing. But I mean, mid caps, you can go up to what, 200 rounds nowadays?
250 now, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a mid cap. Okay. But they limit, you're getting 500 BBs. Use them how you will. Good luck,
Yeah.
But also those mags are somewhat hard to fill because you have to use your Odin to crank them down, and then you got to get the plunger to then go.
I picked up one of these guys at American Milsim because, like, why not? Just a party starter. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's
Is that the 250?
It's a mid cap. Yeah, it's the Aries.
Yeah, I think that's the 251.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I carried the
get it.
200s, and
I get it.
the spring is so strong in them. Like it's breaking some of the Odin knockoffs out there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it won't even crank them down. But I mean, look, the argument is almost Mox Nix. If we're talking about Milsim, it's almost irrelevant because
The comments have me going. Sorry.
if everybody's I'm sure he needs to wear a period. You talk what
I thought we were talking about that one.
the game switch or whatever. And so at a Milsim, if you're playing properly, you're in a rifleman's allowed 1,500 rounds total on the field. You're only allowed, a certain number of mags, certain kinds of mags. All that should be allowed. So if you're out and you're not supposed to be going full auto, okay. So I have my HPA gun. Great. I'm only allowed to go semi-auto. Fantastic. The final question is locking it down. If it's locked down, then there's no question. So at Milsim, boom. Does that mean that the guy who goes to a Milsim and follows the rules then goes to his day game, every Saturday and breaks the rules? If that's the case, then these are attitudes we need to learn to adjust.
I like that you pulled that up. Yeah.
Ireland is one jewel on all platforms, and most sites are doing just burst fire, no full auto. Thanks for coming in from Ireland. We never thought that we would have people coming from so far across the pond for a subject like this. And this was like pretty much we always talk. Papa and I talk every week. What are we going to talk about next week?
You're welcome for this one, huh?
Yeah, I know. Because as soon as I post it up there, all of a sudden the comments go and they start flying on all these different threads. Because I post in like 20 different groups each day that we do a live stream, and I was like, this is a problem.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in personal responsibility in all things. Personal responsibility,
Absolutely.
This being an integrity sport, integrity is a personal thing. You can't control somebody else's integrity. It's the admins and the field owners to control the tempo, control the attitude, but it's up to you to control your integrity. If you can't do that, that's on you, right? You will pay one way or the other eventually. You'll get hunted down. It'll just happen. I think the argument, I remember when I first started playing, I saw some guys wearing patches. They were all running HPA, and they were all big guys. That HPA is for fat guys. There was these patches. I thought it was funny as hell. I didn't understand it at the time, but I thought it was funny as hell. The cost of HPA is dropping somewhat. But the capabilities of AEG are coming up as well. So it's not the disparity isn't quite there anymore, and there is a lot you can do with an AEG versus HPA.
Chris 7601, it's a good point. The argument isn't really about HPA; it's about rounds per second. Well, it's not. It's just a discussion, not an argument. But no, that's a good point, man. That's really the stem of the issue, right? Is the overshooting.
There is that's the major portion. I do think there's a secondary issue of people turning up their regulators and everything else. And I think that's also because like a lot of events and a lot of fields get complacent with just putting that chrono sticker on or chrono tag on the upper and all that. I like how AMS does it where they put their sticker right across the upper and the lower, so you just can't swap out the upper.
The void sticker. Yeah.
So that works out pretty well when it comes down to AMS for that. I give them props because there's been a lot of times I've gone to events and all of a sudden I see guys after they get chronoed, all of a sudden they're inside their guns, and we're at what was it? It was at Black Dragon Siege. The one guy that went over, chronoed, then took his spring out and put a higher spring in. It's like,
yeah, that's right. You actually watched him do it.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
Wow.
Hey, go chrono him again. Why? Because he just put in a higher spring. You sure? It was like, and I wasn't the one that saw it first. I think Jeremiah saw it and pointed it out, and we're all like, huh.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Look at that.
So I think the major problem is it's a certain play style that people have a problem with. It's just Speedy Boy. It's like if you don't like Speedy Boy, don't go to those the local indoor fields where people do that. We went to Battalion and it's full of Speedy Boys. I don't have a problem playing against them because a lot of times I could take them out. People hate pre-firing. I don't care about pre-firing because that's, hey, look, if I know that's a spot where somebody's going to stay, damn straight I'm going to be shooting as I come around that corner because I want to take them out. You know,
Absolutely.
if you know the field, that's where it's at. There's some jewel creep as well, but there are some great regulars tournament locks. Corey Carr, I've been trying to message you. I think you blocked me on Facebook, dude. I can't find him. I can get him through.
Don't feel bad. I block him all the time. I block you all the time on Facebook. Don't feel bad.
And there goes Greg again. Yeah, me personally, I mean, I call myself Speed Sim. You know, I'm a combination of a speed softer and mill simmer. But the problem is that when I get moving, I can't stop easily.
Yeah, same.
It's that weight.
Yeah, so that play style discussion, right? Like that whole kind of culture created around Speed Soft, or you know, the guys that dress that way and use the guns that everyone is discussing right now. It's like, I don't think that's terrible. I think that's awesome. Like when I'm doing a milsim or something, and we're about to, you know, kick in a door or whatever and rush into a building, right? Like, what are we doing, right? We're going to be as fast and aggressive as we can, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then we kind of, you know, we either get hit or you don't, and then you just kind of dial it back down, right? So I think that it's not that that style can't coexist and those guns can't coexist type thing. I just think, again, the rounds per second, you know, scaring away rentals, stuff like that.
I think that is a bigger problem, and that's not just,
Yeah.
and that's not even limited to HPA. I think that when it comes down to a lot of the fields and all, they have rentals out there. Fields need to be a little bit more cognizant of protecting their high-end customer they just had come in. When I say that is, I go to Miami Airsoft, I spend $15. That's it. I usually hardly ever, unless it's weird where I forgot either drinks or whatever at home, or I ran out of BBs for whatever reason, which should never happen. Thanks, Papa. Unless something like that has happened, I'm not spending any additional money at Miami Airsoft. The rentals, however, they paid their $15 or $25 admission. They're also spending $60 in rental stuff, plus another $15, $20, $30 on BBs, plus another probably $10 in drinks. So now all of a sudden that one customer has just spent like $100 to $120 at the shop without even realizing it. Those are the things you protect, because then they're going to buy a gun from you later on if they go through. So it's always smart that it's like, hey, all right, Joker, I know your team's here. How many guys you got here today? I got these 4 guys. All right, cool. I'm going to give you these rentals to play to do your thing with, and then guide them a little bit. So many players don't want to be bothered with rentals, but I met the Wands that way. You know, they showed up, and I think it was like their second time playing, and now they run around. There's another group with the third one. I sent them all over to Papa Shop, and they started doing the same thing, rolling around. So fields need to protect those new players by putting them at least on the same side, knowing that there's strong teams on both sides to offset that
Absolutely.
sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. I think as policy, making sure that you're guarding your new customer, creating that new customer, and then guiding them into, you know, the inevitable purchases, the money they're going to spend is so important. We've discussed it a lot in the office at Elite Force, and I've talked a lot with, you know, my friends at different companies, but there's a related, what is it?
He goes, I do have a problem with the Milsim boys that have tea parties in the spawn of safety instead of playing.
That's true.
He's talking about Milsimmers.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever had tea in a spawn.
Remember, they're on the other side of the pond.
Other side of the
pond.
Well, it was a Milsim. Yeah, okay, Joffrey. Anyways, long story short, I think there is a policy you need to implement that is kind of directly related to your business model of your field and your pro shop, right? And that kind of, if your business model caters strictly to these types of guns, this type of playing, you know, this type of aggressive overplaying where you're not taking care of your rentals and stuff, good luck.
Yeah, I think I know for me, my rentals come in and we actually have we have guys on my team that take them out, that show them the field, that make a small team out of them, teach them the game, we groom them from the start to have good practice, good procedure. Learn the whole game as it should be, not as it has been, but as it should be. So we're raising this whole new generation of airsofters properly, bringing them in, understanding integrity, doing all that. My predecessor, when I took over Op 31, he spoke often. He was a sniper. He, one shot, one kill kind of thing, and he taught everybody about getting out there and like I said before, the player makes the gun doesn't make the player. If you can play with with a Walmart gun and come in and sweep an entire team, imagine what you could do with $1,000 HPA.
Right.
And that should be the kind of gameplay that you have. You should learn how to play well, semi-auto only, slow fire. Learn how to move, and then as you get better tools, you only improve. But it's not about having to turn it up so that I've got a now I'm cheating because I've got a 1.9 joule rifleman, that shoots 40 rounds per second. It's ridiculous. There's no need for that. Absolutely not. You want something like that? Run an LMG. Just run the proper class.
Chris has a great point about mentoring new players. His brother, we called him Padawan because he's like, how do I get to be like you with the sweeps and everything else? And we did. We started showing him. That's why I became the Padawan. And now whenever he goes to fields, it's like, go Padawan, and he'll go out there and he's got like 4 different guns now. I like the other one that Jeffrey said. I love playing with rentals. Best in the spot of there is. I love rentals that play that are not scared. You can tell them to do whatever you want, and they'll be like, "Sure, man, I'll do it." And you can have them do some of the craziest things on the face of the earth, and it's great. So I love it. The reality is, we obviously don't want to ban HPA.
No.
Actually, I know what I was going to say before. Nashville Airsoft, I think, has some of the best when it comes down to like segregating players and all that. Nashville Airsoft, when they get really busy, they have an A game and a B game. So sort of like how Miami Airsoft, you have 8 minutes on, 8 minutes off, Papa.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is they segregate the more top tier players into A, and they put the rentals in B. So A, it's time for A players to play. They play for 8 minutes, come off the field. Then it's time for B players to play for 8 minutes.
Okay.
My mic's coming in and out.
Yeah, I think it's better now. It was. I got you better now.
It muffled for a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Oh shit.
I on one hand I agree with that. On the other hand, I mean, one of the ways for a player to get better is to play against a better player.
True.
True.
So,
but if you have a lot of very inexperienced players that it's their first or second time playing, the last thing that you want is for them to get discouraged with the sport and never come back.
Sure. No, that's it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fair. It's like I like playing basketball, but even if I play with somebody from the NBA, they're still going to kick my ass. I'm not going to learn too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're a little bit too good. You're never going to be able to step up.
You're right. No, I see what you're doing. I just can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have an unfair
slow
advantage.
that down a little bit. Yeah, slow that down.
Like, besides the fact that Papa can't throw a basketball, he'd be like, "You have an unfair advantage."
One-shotting. I'm phenomenal at defense, though. You'd be surprised.
Okay.
He's like, "You got 2 feet on me. You put your hand up, that's 4 feet on me." Oh man, my arm's starting to hurt now. I got my 3rd shot today.
Whatever. You big crybaby.
It was funny though, going there to get my 3rd shot. The lady's going up, sitting there like, "This is like, just do it," and she goes, "Really?" I was like, "This sucks. I play airsoft all the time, and I'm known for about I get shot with plastic BBs, but I hate that little needle. Just jab me."
So while we got Nigel on, somebody kind of poked at it and made me think about it. And since we're talking about taboo subjects, let me ask him his opinion about spawn camping. I'll throw this one out there too because I like people staring daggers at me. Why not? I have a particular feeling about it. Joe Grant has the opposite feeling about it. I think. I don't know. Your feeling about spawn camping and things of the like.
Sure. So, at any outdoor field I've ever helped out with, or at my indoor field, spawn camping, it's going to happen because that is that's the gold medal, right? When you push them into their spawn, Yeah, gotcha. You know what I mean? So you don't want to take away their victory so much. So give them a minute and a half, and then be like, all right, reset, guys. That's how I used to do it. Like, yeah, let them have their fun. They did that, and then as a admin or a ref or whatever, it's up to you to reevaluate who on that team needs to get swapped with somebody on that team. You know what I mean? And try to balance it out, right? Ideally, you want them to just fight head to head in the middle of the field all day because that's a good day,
Right. Yeah.
So, can I comment now? I love this topic.
That's why I threw it out there.
Because we actually have a video to watch in a couple minutes here. It's a great segue when we go to do it. So when it comes down to it, spawn camping, it's a shitty tactic, but it's a legitimate tactic, of course, for player attrition and whatnot. So at Miami Airsoft, though, I typically don't camp spawn. They feel like they're being camped, but I do sweeps. I go through spawn, and I do these circles. I go back to the halfway point and I go cycling through. Sometimes 4 of us will stack up. First guy goes. 10 seconds later, the second guy goes. 3 guys later. So as you're coming out of spawn or getting hit again, and it's a style of play that is there. I really don't like standing up on a corner, putting a gun against an obstacle and just waiting for people to come out of spawn and then plinking them. The only time that you actually see me do that is when I'm doing a sweep and I'm going backwards away from the spawn so I don't get shot in the back. I liked how Nashville Airsoft did it, which is sort of like how you talked about, Nigel, that if they see all like tape team is all the way up into enemy spawn, they'll send them all the way back and they go, tape team, go back to respawn. We go running back to respawn. Now the gameplay goes. It allows it. I know Papa doesn't like that too much because play better.
Well, yeah. Well, so my feelings on it are that don't take the gameplay away. Spawn camping is a thing that can happen. A spawn is an objective, in my opinion.
Right.
Let it be takeable. But yes, I agree that if up to a point, if gameplay is just stopped now because you just got dominated and these guys are all over, then yeah, stop, back it up, and then at the next turnaround or next game, maybe you should balance the teams a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yes, this is a point where if you end up being able to spawn camp, you are dominating. As much as that might hurt the team that's being dominated, you should also applaud the team that did it.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
We haven't been in a habit in the 8.5 years I've been doing this. And Nigel, in your time, I'm sure you know this too. This has not been a sport or hobby of true point congratulations. We don't have any kind of national level of airsoft where you can go and you can acquire points and win things because it's integrity based. Unlike paintball. Oh, look, I'm hit. You could tell I'm hit.
Hey, look, I want my trophy. Damn it.
But it's if we get to that point where we can prove that a player is doing better, you can actually grow that player, and they'll want to become better, and they'll want their performance and abilities to be better, not just claim that they're better.
Yeah, and on the other side, getting bunkered into your spawn or whatever, right? Like that's some of the most fun I've had with my buddies before. You know what I mean? Like spawn's right here. Let's go. Just let's go. Let's get them out of here. Right? Like what else are you gonna do? Sit there and get shot at?
When you start claiming spawn camping though, like when I played in Miami, I went with, I don't remember which gun I was using.
You had your Wraith gun.
So it's Spectre. So I'm every bit of 300 feet away from 270 feet away from their spawn, but I'm hitting guys that are coming out of spawn. Is that spawn camping? I'm at the other end of the field, but I can pick these guys off from their spawn. So if you ban it, if you take it away, if you say you can't shoot somebody at their spawn, if that's your gameplay though, then you've taken away the gameplay completely.
Right.
So I want to be like, wait, hold on, Corey's comment's great. I want to be like Papa when I'm older. No, you don't. He really is a bitter and angry little man.
I am an angry little man. Nobody wants to be like this.
So, like Miami Airsoft, people say at Miami Airsoft, I'm spawn trapped, I can't get out. No, you can. It's just a matter you just don't want to get shot. Because I'll tell you right now, I get trapped. I don't ever get spawn trapped at Miami Airsoft. I get spawn resisted, because I'll keep running out and shooting people at spawn.
Absolutely.
I don't care.
That's the
'Cause
spirit.
As soon as you shoot them once, they now have 20 seconds to walk away and go respawn and get back to where they were. So if you can get 2 or 3 guys and push out, you might get hit, but your spawn's right there. It's like, oh, I'm behind the plastic. I'm back out of the plastic. Behind the plastic.
Mhm.
I've done it 4 or 5 times.
I run behind Joker, and he can be my meat shield all day long. I'll make my way out. Short is a benefit.
There you go.
Very small strike zone. All right.
You think you got me? Have my little man. So I think this is the perfect time to I think we pretty much beat. Now we can say we beat the HPA
The dead horse
to death. So we can now move on to. And if you want to stick around for this, Nigel, by all means, you're our guest today. You could stay for the full time, or
I'll see what's going on. Let's see what's going on.
all right. So I always have to preface this when I go into it. We're going to go into WTF theater. We don't have any dollar theater because I honestly didn't cut any video since last week. I just had too much stuff going on getting ready for Operation Big House. So, but what I did pull is the video from something I'm not the most proud of. So I try to follow Papa's example of being better on the field. And this happened. So I'm going to give a little commentary during the first part, then I'll let you guys watch the second part unimpeded. Crap. Of course, it's on the wrong screen.
It's better if we can see it when you play it.
Yeah, well, I have to open the file there, Skippy. Shut up.
Didn't we just celebrate a 1-year anniversary of this?
Yeah, well, it doesn't change the fact of how we still have to put the stuff up. Okay, man, the shush. All right. So I want to start this off by saying, this is Miami Airsoft. This is fences. So this crack that's over here on this side of the thing is you're allowed to shoot through it, and you're allowed to shoot out of it. So I can shoot from this position and hit anybody there. They can shoot in. Experience that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same thing like this hole right here. Somebody could shoot out of it. I know exactly what happened. A guy went up there and just probably punched a hole through the fence to do it. So in these holes down on the bottom, you can shoot through those too, as long as you're laying down, looking down your gun. Like you just can't stick your gun through the hole and shoot sideways. And be like da da da. You have to be aiming down your thing. So anybody that goes to this hole right here, is an experienced player at Miami Airsoft.
You're out, dog. That counts. Cover the crack. Hey, dog, that counts. Crack shooting.
So you can't hear what he said. And he goes, "Fucking overshot." First F-bomb. I'm just repeating what I said. 1 hour, 24 minutes. And now I want you guys to notice over here, the guy's got a riot shield. So you know what happens when somebody has.
I'm not even gonna talk about riot shields today. We're gonna leave that big.
By the way, that kid that was hiding right there, great job. This dude right here, no idea he was there, and he piped me right in the arm. I was like, "Good shot, man!" And I was like, "Hey, next time, just bang bang me." He goes, "No problem, no problem." He goes, I got you." I was like, "You got me." So this props to this guy because I didn't even see him there. He was so still. Usually you could see through those little cracks and see if a body's there. Great play. Same dude that I shot in the crack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you got him.
Yeah, so he didn't call the leg hits because you saw him dancing a little bit. That's fine. That's whatever. That happens. But he was getting pissed off. He again said, "Effing overshooting." What sucks is you cannot see me shooting this guy's legs because of the silver crates. So, Nigel, for your knowledge, right behind this wall, right back here, that's their spawn.
Okay.
All right, so that's the first one. So I'm gonna do my first sweep. I like how that dude just called it.
That's their spawn. Yeah,
That's their spawn.
You're
Behind the
looking
curtains.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get back in there.
That's pretty good.
Effing spawn camper. Now, I want to point out one other person. This guy right here, he was my target. Previous game, he came up right behind me point blank after I was going out of the spawn and shot me in my neck on purpose. He was my target. I was going for him. I was
Nice
going to
guy.
make him say not to. It was my way of saying not to do it again because he had no hair on the back of his head. I planned to ping it, so I'm hunting this guy. That's why I'm running through spawn. So, again, I aim for hard targets. Camping bitch is what he said. Yeah. So I'm waiting for that one target to come out. Nice trade. Walk back to spawn. This is now sweep number 2. All right. Here's the part where you all have to watch and see because this is the part where my behavior also was not a positive reflection of the sport.
I'm waiting for you, dog. Yo, what the fuck, man? When somebody's hands up, you don't shoot them 3 times, dickhead. All right.
Okay.
Your partner's about to learn a lesson. Oh, poor baby's getting beat inside the game.
I love how he's rubbing the back of his neck. So I'm going to go back to this for a second. So the rule is that you have to go behind plastic, right? So going back here, you go behind plastic.
Rub your butt in it, but yeah.
So you're supposed to go behind the plastic and come out. Now, I wasn't staying there. My goal was to just go backwards. This dude in black, perfectly fine. He's like, I'm behind the plastic. I'm not about to go out until you leave. But
I'm waiting for you, dog.
see how my gun went down immediately? My gun went down and my hand came up.
Yo, what?
He aimed for 3 more times. I got hit 3 more times. And he was aiming lower and lower down my body, aiming for my dick. And he goes, "Get the fuck out of my spawn." Now I'm not happy.
What the fuck, man? Partner's about to learn a lesson. Oh. Yeah, you'll learn a fucking lesson the wrong way. Wait till we play the next game.
Man.
No, he fucking, my hand was up because he shot me, and he shot me 3 more fucking times, point blank. That ain't fucking flying with me.
Oh, you're right, it shouldn't be that way, but at the same time, you don't have to camp spawn like that either.
I'm sweeping through spawn, dude. That's part. I don't stay on spawn. I walk through. Keep your mask
I
on.
don't agree that he should shoot you that much.
No, I mean, look, did I shoot you once or twice? Once, twice, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not gonna let somebody come up and shoot me from behind. Because you have to be out of plastic too before you shoot. So now, you think you're camped before? You yourself are gonna be camped the rest of the next game. That shit wasn't fucking cool, man. I put my hand up and he shot me 3 more times. What the fuck's up with that? Bullshit. I went like that. And then he fucking shot me 3 more times. By the way, you're not supposed to shoot till you're out of the plastic.
You're kind of hot there,
No,
huh, man?
you have to clear the plastic before you can shoot. It's in the rules.
Yeah, I think I was justified in being pissed off. So ultimately, those 2 guys were there for 1 game. That game, his partner was like, "Oh shit." His partner apologized to me later on, saying sometimes he gets a little heated playing airsoft. I was like, "Well, you didn't call hits." And then they also accused Tinker of going full auto. Tinker and I don't have full auto on our guns. We literally either have semi or binary. So, and by the way, yes, I was extremely hungry, and I was actually going to be my last game until that shit happened. Then I was like,
Now, none of those Should I say it? Do you need me to say it?
Go for it.
None of those are excuses. None of that excuses your behavior.
You're absolutely right. I never should have pinged him in the back of the head. I made him damn well and sure you're my target and my team's target and everything else. Screw objectives. Screw anything else. If you're that bad that you're gonna intentionally try to cause harm, if he just shot me if I had a plate carrier and he just did that, okay, cool. But he literally went down my body. He started at my belly and went down for the
I
dick.
understand, but
So
you don't have to propagate the attitude. You could have taken it, and you could have let him cool down, and you could have cooled down yourself. You could have been the bigger man, right?
I could have.
Could
When
have
you tried to shoot me, Nigel, what thoughts?
I'm just listening to Dad.
been.
Here's my thing right off the bat. I'm seeing that stuff. Obviously, you guys are both a little heated on that one. He probably thought he was in the right. Obviously, you were in the right technically. But
Until I
being the
shot him
bigger
in the
man,
back of the neck. I should not have shot him.
there
in the
was
back of
that.
the neck.
Right. It surprised me that none of the refs stepped in. If that would have been my indoor field, I would have been like, hey, I would have sent somebody or stepped in myself and like, what's going on here? You never want the players to hash it out themselves. Be the buffer between them and see if you can be a conflict resolution, right?
Yep.
Let's figure this
Yep.
out. Let's talk about this. Let's de-escalate the situation. So I would say that. I'd say you guys are both in the wrong on that one, to be fair.
Yes, my behavior when I shot him in the back of the neck was definitely not. I should not have done that because I was a dead player. I should not have picked up my gun. I should not have shot him. I'll admit my reaction was heated because my biggest problem with it was the dude intentionally tried to cause harm because you heard him say, "Get the fuck out of my spawn." He was mad because they could not progress and go through to where they wanted to be. So obviously I turned the video off when I got back to my table. There was some more conversations that were going on because other people were telling him the same thing on his own team. Like that dude in black said, look, he shouldn't have shot you like that, but at the same time, he shouldn't have camped spawn. I was like, I was sweeping. I wasn't camping.
Yeah.
And
there were
he's
some
like,
feelings in there for sure.
Yeah. and the dude in black, I give him credit because I've played against him multiple times and he appreciates, he goes, each time you're here, I have to play better. And he knows I typically gone through. It just so happens that I got taken out by him. That was the guy that shot me when I did the trade. Ran back to spawn. I came back and I did the same sweep. They just won't cover the Everglades side. That's on their team, not us. But Chris made the most important thing. Nigel, you said have the refs sort it out. At Miami Airsoft, the players police their own. They typically don't have a ref on the field unless it's the weekend. The ref is outside in a little, like where that cut is, sitting in a chair.
Cubicle. Gotcha. And that's the way it was at my indoor field. I had a kind of a we'll call it an overlook. It was like maybe 5 feet from the wall and just kind of spanned one end of the wall. And so rarely would we have refs on the field. I hate when refs are on the field. They get in the way. It ruins my immersions. You know what I mean?
So Miami Airsoft has towers. They
got watchtowers.
They can sit up in a watchtower and they have a gun at each tower, so they actually could do hit checks and everything else.
Checks for sure.
So if they actually were able to do it now, Miami Airsoft's shorthanded right now because they're open to Palm Beach Airsoft and but there's always been this issue where the players police their own. And 9 times out of 10, I don't lose my cool when people cheat and stuff like this. I think the last time I opened fired on somebody was almost a year ago, Papa, when we were up at Battalion when that girl shot at me and that was a fuck around to find out moment for her.
Yes, I still don't. You'll still never hear me agree with it.
I didn't say it was a good thing to do. It's just so the problem that comes up with Miami Airsoft is it sort of breeds this mentality, right? It breeds this sometimes antagonistic thing. That's why so many players call other players hits. That's why there's so many arguments that come out of MA. So you do try to step above it. My biggest issue with this guy was if he just shot me like 3 times because he, it was like he came out, he was spamming the trigger, I wouldn't have been mad about that. But I got hit, my gun went down in front of him, and then as he's walking by, he takes 3 more shots knowing I'm dead, aiming down lower. And if I had turned towards him, I would have been shot in the no-no zone. And that
sucks. It's a bad situation for sure. Again, man, seeing both sides of this stuff, like it looked like a normal airsoft game to me. You know what I mean? Like it's going to happen again. Not to you, hopefully, or not to maybe you guys figured it out, but it's going to happen again. And I think at the end of the day, the big thing is cooler heads always prevail, right?
We tried, and they
Yes,
didn't
I
play
do.
Yeah, they did not play the next game because the next game was like they knew that everybody that was on the tape team was going to be gunning for them because they pissed off so many people in that one game. It wasn't just me. It just so happens my camera was rolling for it.
Gotcha. Well,
By the
there's
way,
going to be bad
you had a
apples for
question.
sure. Yeah.
You had a question about the G36. Where is it?
When are you going to get more G36s in?
G36Cs. Any chance of restocking G36C?
I don't have an answer on that one. Hold on. Let's do it. I'm going to do it. Hold on. Pull up my ETA real quick.
Thanks, Bulldog. We talked about you earlier.
Yeah, we announced ATE. Actually, I wish Bulldog was here for the conversation about HPA. That way, because Bulldog runs an MTW, and he runs it the way the way it should be run. Really, I mean, it's a stubby. It really is. It's a PDW MTW. It's probably the shortest MTW you can get, and I even put the tanker stock on it, and he's still semi-auto. He doesn't have high RPS or anything like that. He's shooting definitely under 155 joules. I know that, and his gun is the epitome of what what should be, not what is. I know there's a lot of HPAs out there that are beyond that. But go ahead, Nigel.
G36 answer. The official ETA for the Elite Force restock. The competition model, the polymer predominant model, is going to be, I guess they're all polymer predominant, is going to be restocked on December 23rd. Now, that's what I'm told. As Greg knows, I've been telling everybody a couple weeks. So at the end of the year is our supposed restock. And then for our Elite model, which is KWA OEM, one of our nicer G36s, that is slated for January 22nd. So the next 2 or 3 months, we're hoping to have them back in.
Yeah, because you guys are also now, like, going back to the shipping thing, during the year, we have regular shipping rates. But now, October, November, and December is all holiday, which is an additional premium for space and all that. So I can definitely understand why the lead time is closer to Christmas, because that's when the stuff comes up.
Yeah.
You guys can expect a full reshipment by summer solstice 2023.
There it is. Yeah, 2023. Yeah, no kidding. So good problems.
Good problems, but I want to play with something so bad.
Well, and it's not like our projected numbers for what we've had based on previous years. It's not off. It's not too far off what we trended. We try to trend a year ahead of time type thing for what we're getting in for inventory. It's just that there's so much more people buying airsoft out there. So on top of everything else,
I definitely can't complain. We, knock on wood, our third month, we ran the numbers the other day. Our third month, month over month, we've been more profitable than the previous month. And as a new business, that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be profitable at all.
Not the first 2 years, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So knock on wood, the community's absolutely taking care of us. I say it every time, and I got to keep saying it because it's nothing but pure gratitude. Being in there every day. Today, I was in, and I definitely didn't want to be in today. I'm sick. I'm not feeling good. What? Goodbye.
I'll be right back.
Okay. And but it's great to have that kind of support.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a crazy time, man. It really is.
When I started, one of the guys, he's now on my team, Christian. He's like, it goes through ebbs and flows. Airsoft, we're getting ready to come into a time where it's gonna die off again and go into this little oasis of it. It'll have to be built back up, and I don't want to necessarily pat myself on the back saying I had something to do with it, but our area, not only did that not happen, but we grew, and we've been on a steady growth the entire time I've been playing airsoft. I know my area has definitely been like that. I don't know nationwide. I can't say for sure. I only just recently started playing more and more, but you would know better than I would.
But no, nationwide, most of the metro areas are seeing big booms and growths in airsoft. Again, people that were at home found out about airsoft, and they might have started off with something not so expensive, right? They get it, and then they start researching it, and they're like, oh my God, you can play a game where you shoot plastic BBs at each other. You know what I mean? So, no, player attendance is up. Player consuming is up on everything. So it's
Except tagging.
Oh man, I've got 3 cases. But anyways, I was at one of the last big inventory sales. It was at Amped Airsoft, had a big shipment of tagging come in, and so I was lucky enough to get a few cases. Anyways, yeah, airsoft is awesome right now, man. And I've been, I know I've encouraged you. Hopefully that's worked out for the best. I've tried to anybody that's kind of been on the fence about expanding or starting second locations. It's like, yes, 120%, absolutely yes. Right now, let's go, because I think 2022 we're still going to be riding a wave. 2023, I think we'll start to see that plateau, and then we'll figure it out from there.
I think one of the things that has definitely happened that has kept the growth, the curve going, is the introduction of better equipment. When what I know about Elite Force, two of the biggest things that has come out from Elite Force to me, not only did it show the quality of what Umarex Elite Force offers, but also just, overall, the addition to an arsenal, the striker. A lot of people don't know that you guys pulled it from the market because you found that there was a QC issue, there was a drop test issue, and for 9 months you guys tested. Because I know this because I asked every 3 weeks, when can I get my strikers, and I did that for 9 months. You guys did a phenomenal job doing that. And then you have to go back to the Glocks. Working with Glock for 2.5 years to get that name, to get them to approve it, and then come out with guns that really look. I sell every brand. You can't knock, and I don't even carry a Glock, but you can't knock them. Every single one of them is great.
Right, and the cool thing about that licensing deal is that everything that we come through, no matter who our OEM is on it, whoever the manufacturer is on it, everything goes through Glock that they approve themselves. So like, I have a lot of guys that are like, man, if you just had a Springer Glock and a clamshell, I would sell them like hotcakes. And I'm like, absolutely. We like money. So we've tried this, and nothing we've found is up to snuff enough to get approval from, Papa, not Papa, but Papa Glock. So, so that's kind of cool that they're involved with that, and they want to see that their brand is upheld with integrity and good products and stuff too. So,
oh, for sure, yeah, and other companies too introducing between really, like I said, those two were, I think, two of the biggest things, and I can't think of anything else that came out from the Umarex family better than those two in the past couple of years. The Striker and the Glock, to me,
they're solid.
The top two.
Yeah, we've loved to have them for sure. Yeah.
We've got those. We got companies like, honestly, Wolverine stepped up when they brought out the MTW. It's not a gun that everybody has, but if you have one, I hate to say it because I build custom guns, and I like to think some of the guns I build are the last gun you'll ever need. But if you happen to buy an MTW, you won't be coming to me anymore except to put a barrel in it. That's the only thing you'll ever need me for at that point.
So, Apothesis Jones talked about sci-fi guns. I think that stuff's cool, man. You'll probably never see it from us just because our bread and butter is going to be licensed
real
replicas.
Steel. Yeah,
exactly. We're chasing that. We're riding the coattails of that. That real replica. That's where our bread and butter is at. Even on our .177 still BB side, not a lot of people know, but like with KWC OEM, we have 1911s that it's the exact same thing. It's just different size bore and different size magazine channel, and it shoots a still BB. So, but gentlemen, I appreciate you letting me onto your show. We talked about many important topics, and
I told you it wasn't going to last, Greg. I told you.
He's never going to make it.
The staying power.
I've had too much coffee, so I'm going to retire to the restroom.
Yeah, we started to do like intermissions and all that, but I literally did not have enough time to cut a video together because that's what we do, is just throw up a video, let people watch, and then we just take a 5-minute
Smart.
break and go hit the bathroom. What I had to leave the stream for was I had to go protect my ducks and my chicken from the raccoons. We've lost 4 ducks in 4 days, and I caught one of the bastards last night. So
You know what you need? The HPA gun with like 80 rounds per second.
no, wait, I can't say anything else because
What do you
it's
think about
against
that?
the law.
Guns in Scotland.
Right.
It's against the law to harass wildlife. You could trap
That's
them.
right.
Even then, it's against the law to relocate them. You have to call a wildlife expert to go relocate them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but this is the town of Davie. We're a little bit more wild than that. But we do want to thank you for coming on, Nigel.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, we'll definitely got to reach out and talk to you about some more stuff and all that.
For
cool
sure,
stuff.
man. I had fun.
Thanks for coming on. And again, everybody, Nigel Dials 46 on YouTube. Go check him out. From Elite Force. Thanks for coming on, man.
See you guys. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon, Greg.
Take it
Later,
easy.
dude. Niles is still, I can still see him there. So if he pops back up, we'll throw him back in. So, all right. So there's a lot of comments that I had. I literally had to go make sure that the ducks and chickens were away and secure for the night. I haven't set up the trap yet. I'll do that after the stream. But yeah, I caught the one bastard, one of the bastards anyway. And he's now no longer a nuisance for my yard. He can be back at the park where he belongs.
I gotta ask you. This is not a self-serving pat on the back. I'm being honest. Chris said you have more passion than most, Papa. That's what draws people in. Is that really true? Do I really like? I don't see that, and I mean it sincerely. It's just not a self-serving thing. I believe in what I believe in, and you know that about me. And I'm not going to change. I just don't see that. I see a lot of when I see people come in and we talk about it and things like that. I feel like they're passionate also. Is that not?
There's a. Let's see if this looks better this way.
Let me sit back for a second, and it will.
Yeah. So I'll say it this way, right? People feed typically off other people's energy, right? And I'm not trying to be metaphysical or all like a new age and all that shit, but there's something that makes said psychologically that what you put out, people will absorb and then a lot of times replicate. So when we start talking passionately about airsoft and everything else, people respond to that in kind, especially when we're at Miami Airsoft, which by the way, you got to come over again for another Wednesday, another Wednesday trip. And we're there and we were communicating with people. So many people wanted to have conversations. They actually didn't want to play anymore. They just wanted to talk. And that's what it boils down to when people like some of the top personalities in airsoft, you have a huge amount of passion. I vibe with you through the internet. Sin, you're gonna jive with him in 2 weeks because he'll be up at Operation Big House. You're a likable fella from Dave White. Op 4 Airsoft said it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
So by the way, guys, this is part of the stream now where your all's comments are really welcome. We really want to engage and talk with you guys quite a bit because we want to go through some of the cool stuff that's coming out that we're doing. But yes, you have an energy, Papa, that just radiates, bringing people in and having good conversations. No, it's not a week. It's not a week yet. Decay, you were there. So you're at the. So then why'd you ask if I play at Miami Airsoft? You know I play at Miami Airsoft.
So no, and I the reason why I ask that, like sincerely, is I'm glad it gets recognized because I always feel the need to almost justify. Like I believe, how much I believe in this and why I believe in it and why I do what I do, and I try to keep I try to keep going forward because of what it's done for me and what I see it's done in the past for other people. I want to keep bringing that out. I want people to keep feeling that way. And if I guess it's for me, it's a little bit of justification. If that's true, then yeah, that's where I want to keep going with it. I just didn't know that my passion for it was any different than anybody else's.
Just making sure it was you. How many other guys do you know in airsoft that run around, big fat guy with a Hawaiian shirt on? Let's see here. We make fun of you, but it's all fun. You're a good guy. Who's that for? Me or him? I mean, I usually get the asshole comments. It's like a dive shop. You go there, you feed off people, talk about stuff, and then you buy stuff. Exactly. I've seen in I've seen and heard horror stories. The way you hold your safety briefs to normal conversation shows you care a lot more, etc. Yeah, there is definitely something to be said about that too. With Papa's safety briefs, Papa's actually going to be doing the basic safety brief for Operation Big House. Alex Fallon is going to be Skywalker is going to be doing the ones for the JTF missions and the pyro that's going to be happening. And I think I just killed stuff. By the way, is my mic now better?
It was going in and out, so it's not.
Gotcha. All right. So this is the kid, Decay Airsoft. This kid, I swear to God, man, it was funny as shit. Every single time that we played a game, he was not allowed to switch sides because he was the only solo player. So he stayed on port side until the very last game. It was freaking hilarious. And I was like, are you kidding me? Poor guy. Yeah, I was like, are you ever going to get from over there? And he was a little savage. Hold on, I think I could pull up the video of it. He was like one of the few guys. I always knew where he was because you could hear him. He's got an ARP-9 with the amplifier on the front,
Yeah,
or
amplifier on it, yeah.
ARP-556.
It's got that. Yeah, it's got
So
that
it
loud
was,
quacking.
and that was fine. I mean,
your mic is better now, by the way.
Yeah, I think I realized what's been going on. I think my belly has been messing with the mic controls. I'll just put that right there.
Time to eat less wings.
Shut up! It's keto.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can. I'm going to try to find the video of it because it actually was pretty funny because I think. Yeah, this was the last side. And I mean, one of the reasons why I like playing on the weekdays is that at Miami Airsoft, here we go. Actually, yeah, right here. Oh, crap.
You're on the barbershop side.
Poor kid.
He finally got to switch sides.
He finally got to switch sides. It was really funny because we had like several conversations about it. Each time he switched, and the funny, my stubbed M4. It was funny because he was pretty effective out there. I am going to go through and I'm going to try to find the spot where he got me from the backside. So let me beat that again. But it's a lot of times it's cool to go out there and interact with people and just have a good time, and just be able to sit back, bullshit, and have a blast. And Decay had a unique perspective too, because when he gets switched for either sides, he got to be on, like, even though he never got to switch the side of the field he was on, he at least got the chance to play against other people. So I'd love to hear what he had to say about the dude with the godlight that was hiding behind his flashlight. Actually, is this it? Yep, it is. Here, I found it. So he stopped my sweep, and he did it more than once. But this on this particular one was definitely him. There. Come on, stop it. That was him.
Nice.
And I like the fact that he aimed for hard targets. He didn't aim for soft targets. The other guy that was right there with him, that went into spawn, that guy did not aim for hard targets. He aimed for soft targets because he got mad that, camping was happening. But as you can see, I was walking through spawn and I wasn't sticking around. I never stuck around inside spawn to shoot people. I just don't think that's right. So,
I'm letting you know I'm trying to hang in there. I'm doing the best I can. This is this is my.
we could. We'll end this. Time
I'm
to go
trying,
get your
man.
COVID test.
Oh no, no, it's not. It's definitely not. Well, I'm assuming it's not. There is a cold going around, and I think that's what it is. But I made today. I made sure I wore a mask when I was in the shop because we had customers coming in, and even if it's just a cold, I'm not trying to get anybody sick, but I got shit to do.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear that. I hear that 100%. Which was kind of funny because I went inside and I when I went to go get my shot, I had to go out and get my mask. It's one of those. It was one of those things of, oh yeah, I forgot. But see, I thought I had this one here. Oh, I think I do got it. Video of that
so
shooting me.
Just to close out what I was saying before, there was I want to thank everybody. I know I try to do it. I want to keep doing as much as I can. Again, this is nothing without the players. From the stream to the shop to the field, any of that, and it's absolutely nothing without the players. That's exactly what we're here for. And the recognition of having the passion that I have is because of you guys. Is because of what I've taken away from this sport, and I want to keep giving it back. And I know right now in my voice there's zero passion, so I'm fading. But please know that there is sincerity hidden behind this grumble right now. But yeah, it's I appreciate everybody and everything that you guys get.
So because he showed mercy and shot me in the back, this was the very next sweep. So yeah, I always try to repay the favor, especially if somebody's coming up behind and all that. But since Greg is starting to fail here, he's starting to crash. Like somebody that's been up at Vegas for 4 straight days, doing nothing but blowing alcohol, blowing his money away at the tables. We'll start wrapping this up. But we did want to talk a little bit about Operation Big House, so we have to talk about that for a minute, for at least a hot minute. Greg is coming up to be there. The Dead End Outfitters is going to be one of the main shops it is the shop where you get your air fill. So when we talk about HPA, obviously we're not against it because he's bringing the tanks to get filled up. Yep. So he's also bringing most of his store with him. So if you guys are looking for all the stuff, take some Dayquil and suck it up, Papa.
Right there, this side right here. Oops, there it is. There it is. That side right there.
He wants to take the other side. He wants to go to sleep.
Not yet. I'm waiting for it.
So when it comes down to Operation Big House, come check out Dead End Outfitters. They're going to have some really cool stuff out there.
Your mic again.
I wonder if it's.
It's better now. Whatever you just did.
You know what? It might have been on the Halloween stream. I might have pulled something in here. I might have broke my headset. God damn it. So when it comes down to Operation Big House, Greg will have a lot of your needs that you're looking for. He'll have grenades. Oh, yeah. Wait, do you have any more tagging grenades left, or did Jay buy it all?
Got more coming. I do. I got more coming.
Ghost Dog, what page can you go to for Operation Big House? It's actually in the links below on YouTube, but I'll go ahead and send a link right now. So that way you guys have it. Come check out this event. Tickets are still for sale. There's still JTF missions available, which is a different experience when it comes to airsoft. It's a total sensory overload is their
I
intention.
think there's
So-
only like 18.
no,
JTF
less.
left.
There's like 8 left.
Okay.
JTF's been selling pretty fast. So for JTF missions are not they're not team based. It doesn't count for points. It literally is an experience. What?
No, I forgot something. That's what I get for being sick.
Forgot something to mention?
I put it. No, I put an order in today. And go on.
Okay. Oh, so you need to redo your order. Got it. Greg, I also need a tracer unit for that rifle, please. By the way, I got one of the Juan 2 has one of those Bifrosts. I cannot wait to get my hand on one of those Bifrost units. Oh my God. I want to shoot you with all the colors of the rainbow. Oh my God. I hope I have
They're
one.
not cheap, you know.
They're $88. They're the same price as the other ones. They're 90,
Bifrost?
Bifrost, yeah, $80, $90.
No, I'm pretty sure they're not. I'll double check on them.
I want one of those. Actually, what I really want them to do is just, with as much times that I freaking do shit with Ace Tech, damn it, just send me one to test. That's what I want. But I have a Spitfire.
Yeah, Spitfire's cool.
I have that. I mean, I have 2 of those actually, 2 different types of Spitfires. I have the blaster, which is the Ace Tech version. I have the other one that has the pig on the side. And by the way, tracer units at the Big House event, huge benefit, because you can see
And if you
where
don't
your
have
shots
any,
go.
guess who'll have some?
They call it Bifrost. Well,
What?
English is not their first language. Juan said, Ace Tech said it's pronounced Bifrost. No, it's bi. It's bi. Look, I don't know a lot of English. Okay, I mean, I am the product of the Broward County school system, but I know bi means bi. But it's actually that thing is actually pretty awesome. It's very bright. It lights up, and it can even help light up white BBs, like non-tracer BBs.
Yeah.
Because
Bifrost.
it goes all the way down the Bifrost. That's a pretty awesome little tracer unit right there. So tracer units, tracer BBs, flashlights. You need to have a deadlight on the field. And if you guys are doing JTF missions, I need to tell you guys firm. Everybody that has purchased a JTF mission, you have to be at briefing at 5:45 p.m. on Friday. If you're not at the safety brief, you don't get to play in that mission, and there will be no refunds. You're going to get a time slot on when you have to be back in full kit. So I think we might have the time slots beforehand. So I'd honestly recommend making sure checking with us the day before the event to see if there's a time slot set. But you might want to be in full kit for briefing, because when the briefing's done, first team's going out onto the field, and then they're going to be rotating through. Okay, is Big
Big
House
House is not in Pittsburgh.
close? It's about an hour away from an hour and a half east of Pittsburgh. It's actually it's going to be a really fun event. We have 2 factions, DEA versus Cartel, with some NPCs, Op4 members, and all that, playing a third faction that either helps one side or the other. There'll be 3 vehicles out on the field. The battle bus is already up there, and Fallon was able to actually find oxygen, so the main cannon is going to be actually firing. There's a whole lot of raffle items too. Papa's going to be bringing some cool stuff, but MK Airsoft is donating like $800 worth of airsoft gear for the event. We're going to be having a raffle because of 8 Airsoft. They donated to us a G&G SRS. That's going to be our raffle item that we have that you pay for. That's the only raffle item that you have to pay for. Is that what tech is that? I got my jerky bag and some Starburst for Joker. Yes, so it's not in the rule set, but bribery is going to be encouraged. I love Starburst and beef jerky. Bring them out onto the field. Obviously, guys, you cannot bribe me with alcohol on the field for the person that tried to do that last time. After hours, maybe, but not on the field. So we're encouraging interactions and everything else. We have something very special planned for Papa.
Is that so?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You're going to be like, F you, and then you're going to still say, I don't care. I'm doing it.
As long as it's got nothing to do with being wet, I'm okay because it'll be cold, and I'm not
It-
trying to be cold and wet.
yeah, it has nothing to do with being wet. That no,
Okay.
I don't like being wet and cold either. Actually on Friday night or Saturday, we're going to be doing a smoked brisket. So for those of you that are out there that want to come by, we always take donations for my lovely meat in your mouths. Um, Tax is going to be out there. Tactical Airsoft Combat Simulations.
Tax is coming. Okay, nice.
Yeah, Tax is going to be there. XFOG's going to be there. Amped Airsoft's going to be there. ATE Airsoft's going to be there. Press On Apparel or Paracord Addiction. They make these. Fuck, I did it the wrong way again. It's 50-50 shot. These cool ass dead rags. So you could actually get your tin dead rags probably made right then and there. They also have cool maps of the entire AO that are going to be on the microfiber, so they don't ever get done. They're $15 each, or 10 for 100. So 10 for $10 each. So there'll be those cool things out there. So we have brought a lot to you guys, and for those that went to Lockdown 1 and did not have, you guys gave us a lot of feedback. We took that feedback and incorporated it into the game. So there's more missions, there's more objectives. It's going to be louder. There's going to be a lot of cool effects that happen out on the field. So we took all of your guys' input and we just compounded it, made it better. So this is actually going to be a really awesome event. If you were at Lockdown 1, check your email. You should have the last week that you can use the promo code for being a Lockdown 1 beta member, beta tester for Operation Big House. It's, I believe, $35 off. So check your email if you're at Lockdown 1. We have patches coming as well for the syndicate. So check out this event. Go to CP Milsim. So C for Central, P for Pen, milsim.com for more information. Come check it out. Come check out Papa's stuff. And if there's something that you need to get, like say pyro or some other consumable or something else that you need for Papa, contact him now. He can bring it out onto the field. If you're looking for a gun, he has it in stock. Bring it out. If you want a D-Hop barrel, the best damn patch barrel on the market, call him tomorrow and say, hey, I want this as a full drop-on unit. What, donations for YouTube? It should be on already. It's not on? That's weird. But I'll make sure it got there. The patches should be here this week, yes. So we'll make sure that we have the patches and all that fun stuff. So yeah, well, we have a lot of stuff coming in, guys. So we really turned this up a notch. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Next week, we are not going to have a stream next week. I might live stream periodically throughout the week, going over some of the cool stuff for Operation Big House, like the buildings, but I don't think Restream is going to work as a host platform for us to have the stream. So I know you all are sad that you don't get to sit around for 3 hours, listen to us talk about events and everything else. But unfortunately, next week there will be no stream. However, the following Tuesday, we'll be having our Operation Big House AAR, and I'm sure that AAR alone is going to go the entire stream, whichever is a good time. So with that being said, Papa's failing out.
I'm sorry, guys. I tried, man. I really did.
I knew we come here for you, Papa. You're a bonus.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh,
Thank
Chris,
you very
better
much.
not
Good
come
to
to
have
Big
Chris
House.
back, by the way.
Do you even airsoft anymore, bro? I mean, you haven't been out
He does.
in months.
He just picked up his gun.
It doesn't matter. How many people pick up guns that have sitting on walls that don't do shit? I'm gonna call. Yeah, I'm calling Chris out on that. Hell yeah. Unless he shows up tomorrow to play, then I'll be like, all right, maybe airsoft a little bit. Anyways, guys. Finally, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors. I thank DEO for all the massive support they give us throughout the year that we've been in business. Thank you, Papa, for also being the co-host of this and sometimes wonky show where we talk about nothing but airsoft. All right, DK, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Where we talk about airsoft and all that shit. We want to thank High Powered Airsoft for all the support they have, which, by the way, it's really funny. We had Elite Force on today. I want to go ahead and thank Big House Produce for the massive support they do. I can't, unfortunately, one of the big things we can't reveal is not going to happen until after the winter. But that's going to be kind of cool when it happens. So everybody see it for what they're doing with the battle bus. I have to hear you for 4 days. Good if I miss a Tuesday. Shut up, Garcia. You know what? Now you don't get any man. You don't get any of my meat. You know that's what happens. You piss me off, you're gone. Like to thank Boneyard Airsoft, Assault and Battery Airsoft, and of course our newest sponsors, ATE or 8 Airsoft.
Yep.
Thank you guys very much, Wiener and Bulldog. I cannot wait to see what you guys bring out for the next event, the next location where we get to, do some pretty cool ass stuff. Yeah, see what happens when you talk shit. So thank you all very much for coming out tonight. Until
Absolutely.
next time,
Thanks, guys.
stay out on the field. We'll see you guys on the field. You all stay safe, and